It's Nolan. Yeah, taking it serious, life changed in the blink of an eye. Hello to my son, the same day I'm sending goodbyes. I've been on my grind since shake high, riding these bass lines. Finding comfort with the gray skies, watch how I take mines. I'm with the armory, leaving poverty. Niggas been calling me, only speaking of blood like arteries. Guess I'm ornery, ought to be with the ghosts. Pen scripted with ghosts, meticulous practice, cognitive dissonance for the coast. Atlanta taught me well, keep the 808s in a large Chevelle. My lines punching like Whitakeristic or Pernell. I never age, I'm like a for real. Shit that I write in the grill gives me the license to ill. For the new year, I'm only touching more classics and making them. For the cash, I've been draining them. My rhythm circadian. These my signature cadences. Y'all been them and ate them. Chick-fil-A them. Innovative. Need my shit up in them stadiums. I've been underrated. Rolling humble. I played it like a film. I'm at a point I need a status coming like a deal. My bank told me you were like a meal. Niggas pushing rock. It was like a meal. Being soldier, life is real. How many niggas you know that could do this? Just this open discussion. I'm sick of niggas. Get some Robitussin and flow discussing. Keep up holding bustin'. Take your hole and shove it, fuck your bitch. Y'all been known for cooking. I got motion in my subdivision. Ain't no 22s in my atoms. I been a factor, but the truth get redacted. From a city where they pumping balls. Ain't no shooting the basket, just shooting the bastard. And spinning bandicoots been crashing. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Happy New Year. This is not the first video I made for the new year. I did make a video talking about Joey Badass sending shots at Kendrick Lamar in the West Coast. Unfortunately, YouTube is playing on my head top right now. I'm quite sure the video will be dropping within the next 24 hours, but can I pinpoint a time when it's going to drop exactly? No, unfortunately, that's the games that they be playing. So again, as I tell y'all, YouTube can be volatile at times. Subscribe, join the Patreon. I'll put the link in my in the comments because the Joey Badass video will be dropping over there on Patreon momentarily. So if you want to catch that early, join up. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Elliott Wilson and Cam'ron. All right. Now, all 2024, we definitely had Elliott Wilson coming out making some very grandiose statements about artists in the game, right? As a matter of fact, 2023, he was angry at Nicki Minaj for going on Kai Cenat. All right, isolated event. He had issues with Charlemagne. They went back and forth, you know. He's mad at multiple artists in the music industry for not coming on Rap Radar or just not doing press, period. You know what I mean? Drake ain't fucking with him, called him a rat. Kendrick Lamar, he shows up to the Not Like Us music video shoot. Kendrick Lamar saying, hey, you a rat. You know? And he's not getting the interviews right now. He's got shows of his own. He's got the Bigger Picture with Jeremy Heck and DJ Head, which has been going. He's launched his own show, which I'm not sure where it's standing currently, you know, what they have going on or how it's being produced or what the timeline is on how that's going to consistently be dropping. So now he's visited the Rory and Mal podcast. They get into the conversation about some of the statements he's been making about people, which has kind of devalued, in my opinion, kind of devalued his illustrious history as a hip-hop journalist that really was to be respected. A lot of new age folks or people that have just learned who he is, they don't come from the time period of when Elliott was at his highest. Or even if they are from the time period, they weren't really reading his publication. You know, they weren't reading the Double XL during his time there. They weren't reading the Source during his time there, or just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? To be quite frank. Now, me as a student of the game, I know Elliott. I always tell y'all, I grew up reading his content, or his work rather. But it's a whole new ball game, right? So in the midst of him having a conversation about this, he then takes a shot at Cam'ron. Now, y'all know over here at Inside the Industry, I was a fan of Cam'ron the rapper. I'm not so much a fan of the It Is What It Is show or Cam'ron as a podcaster. I got to be all the way honest. That's just me. Y'all can feel how y'all feel. Y'all can like what y'all like. Just not, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't sit well with me. Just with certain things that they do over there. They have some good episodes. So Elliott comes out and decides he wants to shit on Cameron. He says, you got Cam out here walking around like he's Stephen A. Smith or something. And basically, in so many words, it sounds like he wishes that artists like Cam would just stick to rapping. He doesn't like the music industry pipeline, sort of like how it works in sports, where a lot of the athletes, they go out, they do their shit on the field or the court or wherever it is. And then when it's time to retire, a lot of them went to school and had sports journalism majors and all that type of shit. Any fucking way they apply it, they go join up and become analysts, sportscasters, etc. In hip hop, we had Joe Budden kind of usher that in, and many people have followed suit. Cam, Gilly, and so many more. T.I. dipped his toes into it. Flocka was doing podcasts at one point, not so much anymore, but many have done it. We got battle rap guys, Math Hoffa doing podcasts and shit. And as people that actually are practitioners of the art form, you can kind of relate a little bit to what's going on. You can speak from a perspective when people start coming out and talking about their experience in the industry. They got taken advantage of. They got fucked. They got this. They got that. We got the artists that went through all of these different things that could come out and actually speak to it because they lived through it and they're not talking about it from third person accounts, right? So I will give Cameron that, although he is in the sports arena more so than hip hop, although he does have a new show, Come and Talk to Flea, which looks like it might be more music focused, as I seen he had 50 on there recently. So off rip, I disagree with Elliott, right? You can't tell an artist that you can't go, Nori with Drink Champs, you can't tell an artist, no, you can't go from rapping to talking about rap. That's not how it works, right? Because if you could tell a nigga that they can't talk about rap, then maybe we should tell Elliott Wilson and people that come up as fans of hip hop, just because you're a fan of hip hop doesn't mean that you're an authority figure to talk about it. And I'm sure he wouldn't like that. He wouldn't like the fact that his journalism degree and all that shit gets disqualified when a nigga say, I don't give a fuck about your degrees in hip hop. You're not certified. You know what I'm saying? That Jay-Z co-signed, I don't fuck with it. I don't care about that. He would feel some type of way. So at the end of the day, I think Elliott just has to understand that you're not that much of an authority figure to tell people what it is and isn't cool to do. And just because people aren't coming and sitting down with you in particular, you can have a feeling about that, but it ain't gonna change shit. You're really just gonna be the one that's sitting around feeling some type of way, and other motherfuckers is gonna be doing their thing, living their life, making money, enjoying whatever it is that they do. And you're gonna be the one salty, ruining your own day, sitting back, looking like a hater. It's not working to his benefit. We've had this conversation one too many times, and we're starting the new year off having this conversation all over again. Let's hear what Elliott had to say. Cam, It Is What It Is, they responded today. So let's check out what's going on, man. Fuck.
Those people that could do great interviewers are now becoming the media.
Yes. Everybody's media. Summer Walker's media. Cameron's running like he's Stephen A. Smith. It's what we're dealing with.
Why are you saying like he's Stephen A? Why he not running around like Cameron?
Cameron to be that.
That's what people be mad at you about when you say shit like that.
Which I think he should lean into. Be the old villain.
OD, that was hate.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I think people be mad at you.
Oh, it's hate.
Cam is running around like he's Stephen A. Smith. No,
why is he a sports journalist? Because he has an opinion?
No,
why?
But
him and Mace have proved to have a good opinion that people care about.
He got Mace having a job and really like check because the bag is there.
But Elliott, you don't think
now? The thing about it is, at bare minimum, we know Cam and Mace, if anybody is familiar with their stories, that they were very prominent high school basketball players. Some would say among the top New York City basketball players, high school, during that time period that they were coming out in the 90s. So that gives them a leg up to talk about fucking basketball and sports because they were actual athletes. They may not have made it, they made it. I think Cam went to college for basketball. Mace was offered a scholarship. He didn't fulfill it because he wanted to be, you know, whatever he wanted to be. But that's the leg up that they have. You know, they actually have performed in that arena and excelled and won championships, right? So at the bare minimum, they participated in not only the rap side, but they also participated in organized sports, right? Elliott Wilson, you ever got on the mic? You ever wrote a well-constructed 16-bar verse? You ever made a dope record? You ever put together a mixtape or an album that people wanted to listen to and gave you kudos for it and said that you're certified? No. And some people would jump in and say, well, then you should not speak on hip-hop because you've never participated at that level. I wouldn't agree with them, but based on the metric system that you're trying to build or this meritocracy that you're trying to build, you wouldn't even be qualified to be who you are if we looked at you through that same lens. I got a hell of a lot of respect for Elliott. But doing this trying to create this bad guy image, because that's what it really seems to be, it's not working in your favor. And the reason why it's not working in your favor is because this is not who people have known you to be, right? Those that do know you, doing the Rap Radar shit, doing the title shit, doing all of the other stuff that you've done. Yeah, you had the yellow nigga character, but everybody knew that was a character through text. This ain't it, brother. It's keeping you in the headlines, but it's keeping you in the headlines for the wrong reason. And it's deterring your potential subjects or interviewees from wanting to come fuck with you because they tired of you. It's working counterintuitively from every angle. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? At least with a nigga like Star, who I don't fuck with at all. That's been Star for 30 years. When he was on radio, when he got kicked off radio, when he came back, he's still the same person he's been. He's at least consistent. He's not turning over no leaf, trying to be somebody that he's not. He's just a fucking asshole. I don't like him. I don't support him. But that's who he is. At least there's authenticity there. I'm quite sure all your industry peers that see you coming out like this, they're looking at you like, dog, which is why y'all are even having these conversations. It's not a good look, bro.
Yeah, we all come from the culture of we all sit around in our neighborhoods, in front of our buildings.
But Mom, don't make you a journalist.
But I'm just saying, we all sit around in our groups with our friends and talk about
our
sports,
opinions, yes.
music. That's
Absolutely.
all. That's all these guys are doing right now.
But that's not fair. Is Shannon Sharp a journalist?
No, but that's the
Or does he
easier
have
bridge.
experience from it?
That's where the athlete becomes the media. That's the easier Charles Barkley. That's easier transition.
So why is it easier for the athlete but not the artist?
It's not easy, but I don't like it because, like, you imagine, like, this is the shit I do well, and not everybody want to do it, and they get the celebrity off that shit.
You don't like it because you feel like they're not coming to the journalists to have these conversations.
I'm real with that.
Which affects your bottom line.
The best I ever do is me with that. So then you want to be that off celebrity of what? So I can talk about that. I don't like that shit, and I'd be a hater.
Yeah.
It's reality.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
You don't like it because you don't think they're good at it?
I know I'm better at it.
Okay.
It's me. It's my life.
Okay.
But Elliott, what
Imagine
would make
it.
you better at it? Because in this day and age, it's just not about getting the information right. It's about who's more entertaining. So who are you to say I'm better at this than them when what
I'll prove it to you I'm better than you. Like, I'm.
Okay. Yeah, Elliott, man, I'm better at it than you. Now you get to see what it's like as an entertainer, right? Because now when you come in and you create a show and you create, you know what I'm saying? And you create something that you want people to tune into. See, when Rap Radar came out and y'all was getting the Jay-Z interviews and y'all was getting the interviews with the top crust of the industry, your show basically got forced upon people. No shots, no diss, right? Because we had B-Dot, who he was like a mid-tier blogger, you know what I'm saying? He had formerly worked at Sirius or whatever it was, XM. But he wasn't like no media personality that was like highly sought after. Let's keep it a buck, right? There's you're a journalist coming from the older era, you know, from print publications, which we can never take that from you. That's why I always give you respect. And I always salute you when you share me on your shit. But as somebody who is somewhat of a student under the family tree, I guess you could say, I gotta be honest with you that when y'all came on the scene and y'all had the undeniable interviews, it's not like we were going there to see you. We were going there to see Hove. We was going there to see Jeezy. We was going there to see the who's who of the industry that was coming there to rock with y'all off of the respect y'all had in the industry. In 2025, you cannot force a podcast on nobody. It's too many options out here, which is why you're uncomfortable, because the Kai Cenats of the world get these people that come in and it's part of the album rollout. And I wasn't the most supportive of Kai Cenat in the beginning. I actually fuck with Kai now. I'm not mad at him. He doesn't really bother nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I still don't think all the yelling he does is always necessary. But that's neither here nor there. That's for his audience to enjoy. But there's so many different artists and people that would rather come see him than come see you, because he's got the viewership, he's got the audience, he's got the youth, he's got the brands behind him, he's got commercials and all of this shit now. You know what I'm saying? He's the new guy. The analytics back it up. And what it is you don't like that he's got the analytics to back it up and you feel like you've got the talent, right? But that's the thing about being an entertainer, because I could easily sit here and just hate on every rapper that drops music, right? Not give nobody no credit, say everybody bars is whack, say everybody's trash, rate everybody's new album a 3. You know what I'm saying? When we do our music reviews, and I just say, based on the fact that I know I'm a better rapper, talent-wise, than you niggas, there's no way I could rate anybody on this channel above a 4 out of 10. And everybody would be like, damn, Nolan, what the fuck? What's going on with that? And I come back and just stand on my soapbox and say, I'm not rating nobody a good score because I'm better than you niggas. I know I'm better than these niggas, but you still got to get out here and show and prove. You still got to put your work in. You still got to build. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes down to content creators, I can't come out here and just start shitting on all these niggas that got 50, 60, 100,000, 200,000, 1 million subscribers and just be like, man, these niggas is trash. Fuck you niggas, and start naming names. And you know what I'm saying? My supporters gonna look at me like, bro, what's up? What you on? I may feel like I'm more knowledgeable about hip hop than some of these motherfuckers, but that's not what it's about. It is about being knowledgeable. But if you're not able to present it in a digestible way, if you're not able to be entertaining, if you're not able to pour into the viewer in a way that they enjoy or appreciate or relate with or find intriguing more so than the next, then you got to keep showing up. You got to keep figuring it out. You got to continue to put your work in and figure out what your niche is going to be. Right? And rather than put your head down the same way you did in your journalism field when you went to school and you had to do all them fucking reports and write-ups and talk about shit that you didn't care about, but you had to make it seem like you did. Now you're in a space where you got to put your head down, do the work, create the quality content, make sure your audio is good, make sure your visual is good, you know what I'm saying? And build a show that's entertaining from you and your host alone to make the artist want to come on there. Because it ain't just going to be off the strength of I'm Elliott Wilson. Because the strength of I'm Elliott Wilson has been deduced based on your antics, right? Because again, the audience already didn't give a fuck. But now the artists don't give a fuck because they like, this nigga disrespectful. I don't know what happened to him. He used to be respectful. He used to shake my hand when I see him. He used to be, you know what I mean? He used to go through the proper channels to get the interview. If I had time to do it, I would. You know what I'm saying? But now that I see you out here cherry picking with the artists and playing games. Nah, I'm not so eager to come sit with you. I'll go sit with one of the young niggas who's gonna be respectful. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna turn up the way the young niggas turn up. And I ain't gotta worry about none of that shit. And I ain't gotta worry about you dissing me later on because I didn't come back when you thought I should come back. You digging your own grave. I don't like, disappointing.
The best, I'm more informed.
Are you better at telling a story? Are you
100%.
better at getting accurate
They're not better. It's like that shit cringeworthy. I watch that shit. It's not good.
Yo,
Shit ain't popping. It ain't popping.
I don't agree.
What's the Cameron interview? Was like, yo, Cameron really asked the questions. Like, what are you talking about? No.
But what interview did Cam take away from something of, let's say we're the hip hop ilk. Even if Maul and I aren't journalists, we're still in hip hop media. You are a hip hop journalist. What interview did Cam take away from us?
They have celebrity has access to different things that I may not have. And again, I do feel like they underperform.
See, I think I have to push
Every
back.
time.
I have to push back there because you have had 25 years of relationships with publicists, PR interviews. The three majors where Cam is a celebrity and has, relationships for him being in the game for 30 years. But you have direct relationships with the majors that the rest of the podcasting world never had. So you still do have that. I think we have to go back to the period at the end of the sentence of what the fans want. And with Cam or Young Miami, maybe they just want to be entertained. With Kai, they just want to be entertained. They don't want to be informed. They don't want to be informed.
The access goes to them above me. That's the problem I have. That's what it comes down to. You see what I'm saying? Because it seems sexy, like, yo, Cam's the sports reporter now. Hey, woo.
Okay, but let's not act like that's not always been hip hop or entertainment at the time. We've seen things that were hot and then failed immediately, but at that time, that was the hot shit that people went to.
And
that's like any genre.
They don't have to fail. It's all good. They can do their thing. I'm just saying, like, yo, I'm competing. I want a shot. I'm in this. I'm still here. Mm-hmm. I want to compete.
You're competing the wrong way, brother. You're going to the Jamaican bobsled team telling people you can shoot jump shots. You playing the wrong game. And if you don't want to be an entertainer, then you're in the wrong game. That's what's going on. If you're not an entertainer in 2025, in some way, some form, some fashion, it's not going to work for you the same way that it would have worked for you 10 years ago based on being grandfathered in from your relationships and your journalistic accolades. Now, there's some people out there that are just like great educators, but that's not what you do, because in order to present your show, you're depending on a guest to come in, have an interview, you talk about their history, you ask them questions, and then they, you know what I'm saying? You build the story by plotting out the entire thing. Like, okay, if I ask you this and they say this, I kind of know, I already know the answer. So when you tell me the answer, I'm going to direct you in this way. And you know how to pull information out of people. That's great. But people want to know, people gravitate to a host these days. The host keeps you coming back. The guests are the icing on the cake. Because if you ain't got no guests and you got to do it yourself, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't on album cycle. It's a dry month. You're going to have to put out 4-5 episodes where it's a dry month. Can you sustain on a dry month off of yourself alone? And if you can't, that's going to be a problem for the growth of your show. Or you're going to have to produce less, right? Which is where the Gillies and the Wallows and the Drink Champs of the world, they're contingent upon having guests, which means when the guests ain't really chirping like that, ain't no episodes dropping. Young Miami show, Carisha Please, like ain't no guests, ain't no show. Which then decreases the overall value of your show. You can say, oh, well, I'm doing quantity over quantity. All right, you're doing quality over quantity. But if you don't have enough quantity to keep people sustained, by the time you put that next quality episode out, people ain't looking for it as much because what have you done for me lately? So it's a tricky game. Ultimately, you got to have some entertainment value. You got to do something different from the rest of the pack. You got to bring something to the table that's going to make you stand out. Even the company man, right? He comes from the journalistic perspective, right? And what he dazzles you with is how much he knows about the shit. He doesn't need a guest to come in and tell their story because he's educated about it and he can talk about it. He can talk about current events and give you historical data that supports why this current event is what it is, or why he's going to compare it to this event that happened in this particular year in hip hop and on this day. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, look at people like him, right? He's not no young whippersnapper. You know what I mean? He's older than most of us that do this, but at the same time, he's not hanging his hat on, I'm good at this, therefore you should fuck with me. It's like, I've been here. I've been providing value through my content for many years. That's what people have come to expect from him. He puts his head down, he does the work, and whether or not people view, he's going to give you the same energy. That's all you got to do, bro. Like, don't go out kicking and screaming because ain't nobody going to actually come save you. Again, this is a new era. The sympathy game, not going to work. Unless, you know what I'm saying, unless you get beat up or something. But outside of that, and we don't want to see that, it's not going to happen. So, learn from the guys you're sitting with. Rory and Maul, they have a polarizing podcast. Maul, a lot of people don't fuck with Maul. Maul has had some of the worst takes of 2024. But they have some cultural cachet. You know, they have a perspective. They've both worked in the music industry. They know what works for the audience. Outside of just the takes and stuff like that, they have conversations, humorous stuff like that. You got to have more than just what you think is, you know, your talent. Otherwise, I would just get on here and just rap all day. And that shit ain't going, you know what I mean? If I just got on this bitch and said, I'm going to rap to y'all instead of talking about the current events, niggas would leave. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be honest. Not every day, you know. Y'all want to hear me rap some of the time, not all of the time. So you either gonna have to get with the program or the program's not gonna happen. So let's get to Cameron's and it is what it is, and clearly it was Cameron response. So they jump out, say, the year just started. And we just chilling, minding our business, sipping. And here comes this Cuba Gooding Jr. looking motherfucker with his salty, hating ass. Not Cuba Gooding Jr. Jesus. Hey, yo, Elliott Wilson, you washed. And nobody is checking for you. We the new source. Get used to it, clown. You a bona fide hater at his finest. Y'all swipe left. Cause this high yellow nigga sound like the illest nigga from Nebraska. It is what it is, talk. Nobody safe. We say what the fuck we want. Oh, we gonna show you how it's done. All gas, no brakes. That's the first response. You got one off with the Cuba Gooding Jr. thing. The rest of it you probably could have kept to yourself. But you know, tease with a tease. They come back. Hey, Elliott Wilson. Then you got some nerve to be following us. But as you can see, we don't follow you, clown. So with that being said, Curve, your breath stink. If Pun was alive, he would tell you, go that way. Fuck out of here. It is what it is, talk. Nobody's safe. We say what the fuck we want. Now, for those of y'all that never heard It's So Hard by Big Pun, you wouldn't catch the reference of go that way. You know, your breath stink. Damn, that's fucked up. When the last time y'all seen each other for that nigga to say your breath stink, man? Damn. It's not looking good out here for y'all, man. Y'all old heads out here just tripping. I gotta give the edge to Cam because you dug a hole for yourself. But as Cam is out here fighting back, I mean, he didn't really have nothing substantial to say other than calling you a hater, which we already knew that. I mean, you said it yourself. Big hater energy. So we'll see what Elliott Wilson has to say for himself moving forward. I think it's time to go a little bit, not silent, but definitely chill. Do your shows. Go do the bigger picture. Like that at least has some traction. You're the head of, you're in a corporate position over there at Hip Hop DX. Hip Hop DX produces the show. Be more of that. Like, do the background and co-host with some folks that are younger. You know what I'm saying? DJ Head and Jeremy Hector, more of the culture of the younger generation. They could keep you up on what's happening. You know, DJ Head, he's like an ambassador of the West Coast. Connection with Kendrick, Absol, the whole TDE and all that good shit. So he's locked in. He could give you all that. Jeremy Heck, he's more of the internet era. He could give you like what's trending. You know what I mean? And you just kind of give your perspective, talk, have those conversations, talk about the roundups, who had the best year. Do that. The interview game for you might be dried up. But just because that's who you were before doesn't mean that's who you will always have to be. And that may not be the position that's best for you in this season of your life, big dog. So that's what I will leave you with. Now, whether you decide to listen, hey, that's on you. But if not, I think 2025 going to be a little rough for you in terms of public perception. I don't know if that's what you want or if you want to be seen as a bad guy, but I don't think it's going to work out for you the same way that it's worked for someone like a DJ Academics or a Joe Budden. Because again, them being assholes and dickheads is very well known. It's seen through the chronology of their career. For you, this seems new. Doesn't really fit your persona. Doesn't really fit your image like that, bruh. So I say that with love. Be happy, be merry. Happy New Year. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Be sure to let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
Yeah, king of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.